Well, all right.
Hello.
Can you put that mic a little closer to your mouth?
It's Dante Nero, y'all.
Okay, actually, you're good.
I didn't get my introduction.
Actually, I think you're good.
No, I'll come a little closer.
All right.
Well, that's $200 down the drain. Why don't you get a mic that can handle my voice, motherfucker?
I think it's picking you up quite fine.
Alright.
So anyways, Brandon's back. We had a birthday extravaganza. We totally got fucked.
Oh, up. Were you drunk when you got home that night?
We came back together. And we banged those two bitches.
We came back here.
Yeah, we banged the two bitches live on the air.
I came up here?
Yeah, we had to bang the bitches live on the air.
Did we play games?
We could play games with their bodies. Live on the air. Birthday extravaganza.
How do we see this video? On Patreon?
I got it on my phone.
But it's on Patreon now.
Yeah, you can give us $5 if you want to watch it.
Damn, that's free porn. You guys paying for OnlyFans for like what, $20, $18 to watch you something you can watch on the internet for free.
Yeah, but you can like chat with them, right?
Yeah, so it makes it more intimate. Like, ah! Hey guys, this was. Oh my god, thank you. I'm playing with my pussy for you. Yeah. Oh, who's that other guy? Let him fuck you. Yeah, it's not me. Yeah.
It's probably pre-recorded too.
What if it was?
Like it's just a video of her TV. So I guess that is a good segue into the topic. Paying for things that you shouldn't be paying for.
Oh.
I don't know. In Japan, you hear a rumble out there?
What if like someone's just walking toward us? That'd be some scary shit. Like, ah!
I wouldn't be able to see it. I would just keep talking. Brandon, you want to chime in here?
One more story. At work today, there was this older gentleman, maybe 40s, 50s. And I was like, hey, so... he was like, I'm a dentist. And so every time I hear of someone if I got a student that's like a dentist or something, I get excited. Cause I'm like, oh, because I'm nervous to go to a regular Japanese dentist. Like,
yeah.
he knows English. Maybe I could like get his card and get a good cleaning.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you get a lot of English customers or probably not? And he's like, I get a lot of English customers. And I'm like, oh shit, he doesn't sound excited about this. I'm like, so you're in here learning English, so you must like that? He was like, I was like, oh. I was like, do you like it? He's like, no. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Because I was like, man, I was going to ask for your card, but now he's like, they just no.
Did he? No, he's Japanese. He's not going to explain that.
Like, they speak English so fast.
While your hands in their mouth? I seriously doubt it. Like,
I can't hear English really good. I'm like, all right, man. So I gave him an anesthesia shot. I guess he had to do some surgery on some guy. And I told him, don't take a bath. But he heard, don't take the bus. I'm like, well, you got some retarded customers then. Shit. Okay. All right, so say what you... All right, go back to the thing.
Okay,
say what you're saying.
So...
Chris?
Is there a bug on me?
No. Well, have you ever saw a bug in your house and say, I'll let you live now? For now.
Yeah.
But then he just stays there like, motherfucker, I'm letting you live. And then he's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck it. Fucking dumbass.
Or if it's in the shower, I'm like, this is the wrong place. Turn the hose a little bit. Does drowning not kill you? No, I'm a bug.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Jesus Christ, what are we even doing?
I'm waiting for you to do the damn intro, man.
They can't see it. He's tickling me.
I'm over here.
So far, the best intro we've had thus far.
Oh.
Okay, so there's a lot of times in Japan where you have to pay for something, or you even won't because you're like, I don't know why I would pay for that. But there's so many businesses that have all. Gee, I'm just gonna stop it.
Chris, keep going. You keep going. You're actually doing. There's some businesses that what?
I don't know.
There's some businesses that you were doing good. There's sometimes you go in a place and you pay for it, but there's some businesses that nachiga.
There's some good beer. Okay. So anywho,
Okay.
there's a lot of businesses where they either offer you a service and you're like, well, I don't know who's paying for this. Like, who wants this service? Or you're like, there's a fee to get into a place. And you're like, I don't know why would anybody pay this fee? But, like,
now,
all the businesses do it, so they must be making money from it.
For our viewers, is this a city thing or is this a Japan thing?
Well, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that lately. I don't know. It's getting harder to tell what is Japan bullshit, what is Osaka bullshit, what is just people bullshit.
Right.
What is... It's hard to differentiate now. Like,
so yeah, sometimes it does get all mixed up. Like, huh?
Because sometimes something will happen to me and I'm like, ugh, Japan. And then I'll instantly think, oh, wait, that's happened to me before in America. So...
But to fix that, our main podcast is saying, hey, this happens in Japan too. So we can counter that with the, well, this ain't all strawberry custards coming out your nipples.
Wow.
So that's an instant counter to that thought, but...
Wow, that's a t-shirt right there.
All right.
Okay, so...
So give us an example. What you got?
Okay, so... Okay, so let's start with the story about... I don't think we told this story yet.
Oh.
The story about when me and you... Well, when I forced you to go to a bar with me. A local bar.
That one.
We were out drinking, and then we were walking around, and I'm like, hey, let's go in here. And
After I was like, all right, I'll see you later.
Yeah, it was quite late.
I was like, all right, man, I'm going to head out.
It was before midnight.
You're like, wait, let's just go to a
Because
bar.
I just wanted your opinion on the place. And so we get in there, and we have 2 beers each, and they're kind of pricey.
One beer each. It was 2
Oh,
beers. Yeah,
you're right.
One.
So it was 1 beer a piece.
They were IPAs.
700 yen. Okay. You can pay that some places. I'm not complaining about that.
Right.
And then it was us 2, 1 Japanese guy who was already in there, and then the female bartender. And so we were like...
Was this on a Friday or a Saturday?
I think it was a Sunday, maybe.
Sunday, okay.
And so we get the bill, 700 yen me, 700 yen you, and how much was it?
Total, it was like 28.
28, wow.
Just $2 shy of 30.
So $30 for 2 beers? That seems a little pricey.
Like, what the fuck's going on?
So we asked her, like, is this correct? She's like, yeah.
Wait, did we even ask her? I don't think we did.
We were just like,
Yeah, and she just looked. She didn't say it. She just looked stoned. She was like, "That's what it is, motherfuckers."
We're like, is there a fee? Because in all these bars, there's always a sign outside that's like 500 yen charge or something. This place had nothing, so we're like, is there a fee to get in here? Because it's not a particularly special bar. And she's like, it's like,
what? So what was that fee? Is it $7 per person?
So
then?
it's 700 yen to get in. 700 yen. I guess everything's 7 at this place. And the funny thing is, there's a piano, and I think the bartender knows 1 song on piano that she plays for anyone who comes in.
700 yen for her to play. If she didn't play the piano, she wouldn't have charged that 700. She's like, y'all made me play.
But it's not even her bar. like the first time I was talking to her, I was like, "Do you own this place?" She's like, "No, I just work here on the weekends." So is this a fee she put in place herself?
Oh, what if she did and she's like pocketing the money?
Yeah, could be.
The owner's like, why do people just not? Why can't I get any return customers?
They only come once or twice. So, and the guy next to us, when he found out the bill, he was like, "Ooh, yikes!" Because I think, didn't you say he bought her a drink too?
Yeah.
So it's like
she ain't discounting that shit. I've been here long enough. Like she charging full price for a drink she could have drank for free.
Right? Yeah, because you're the bartender.
She could have drank it for free. Probably does, but she's like, "Oh, thank you. I'm gonna charge you full price for your kindness."
All right, that'll lead us into the other story. This was 2 years ago.
No.
I think you know the place I'm talking about on the main road.
I don't know nothing.
Oh, sorry. This place is owned by a woman, and it's just like a little bar.
Yeah, I remember.
And so I went in there because I was like, I always walk by and I'm like, oh, it looks different than the other bars. Let's go here and try it out. And I'm drinking a drink, and she's like, "Aren't you gonna buy me a drink too?" And I just flat out said no. She's like, "Huh?" I'm like, what? Because I guess
Chris, that's the system, Chris.
I guess in Japan it's just like, just force men to, like, if they're not gonna buy more drinks, they'll just force you to pay for more drinks. Like, it's so weird. But it's just like, she starts barking at me. But yeah, I was just like, I was just like confused. Like, I've never had anyone demand I buy a drink. Like, I've never gone to a restaurant or a bar and then be like, "Buy me a fucking drink." Because that place was kind of expensive too. I think it was like $700.
Now, it didn't say. I guess it didn't say it was a girls' bar on the thing, did it? I guess not.
This one.
Yeah.
No, she just owns it.
All right.
And I think after some time I was just like, all right, why not? Whatever.
Okay.
Because she was surprisingly actually good at talking.
Ooh.
And
What else she do with her lips?
Not a whole lot. But it's just like a lot of places out here. It's like, if you have a bar, you'd think you'd be better at talking to people, but still some bartenders aren't even that good. So, but then a guy came in with his girlfriend, and he bought her a drink too, and I'm like,
did he look like a regular or?
Yeah, I think they knew each other.
Oh.
Like, what? But it was just weird because before that guy came in there, I was talking to her, and I'm like, I've never seen anyone in your bar.
You said that?
Yeah.
Oh, Chris.
And she was like, "What are you talking about? There's people in here all the time." I'm like, I walk by here almost every day. I've never seen anyone in here. So it's like, how are you still open? Are you just scamming the one guy who's like, "I'm going to check out this girl"? Just scam him. That'll pay for your month's rent, I guess.
That's the biggest question for so many bars or little shops. It's like, how are you still open?
Yeah, like, I think I sent you a picture of
like, what is your rent like $100 or what's?
We're in a nice part of the city, so it's like, how
are you open?
Yeah, I think I sent you a picture one time. I'm like, how long is this place gonna be open? And like inside was just some trash and a computer. I'm like, is this a business?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you guys can't be money laundering. Or maybe. I don't...
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe there's just a lot of money laundering.
They probably get mad when there's customers.
Like, shit, man. I'm just trying to launder this fucking money.
I gotta pour drinks for this fucking slob. But yeah, that place was disappointing too because I stayed there a long time and my bill jumped considerably. And I'm like, I don't think I bought this many drinks, but there's no way I can call the police. Like, officer, she added more on the bill.
Or did you?
And he'd be like, yeah, you can buy me one too.
We got a 425 drunk guy just buying everyone drinks. It's just a whole bunch of police. Hey!
They ride by on the bicycles. Chatty chatty.
Where you from? Ah, America. America.
Big hamburger.
Buy me a drink. Shots on my brain. Did they still take you to jail?
Oh, they
Drunken disorderly conduct. Take them in.
Yeah, but this is another one of those like where we're just confused episodes. I feel like because there's no way you can ask a Japanese person why are these places charging money.
Because they really know, they ain't gonna tell us.
Because like, and it's like you try and compare it to America, which you shouldn't do because this isn't America. But it's like anytime there's a cover charge, usually there's a live band playing or they have some kind of special event.
Right.
But on a Wednesday night, why am I paying to enter your establishment?
And this system doesn't work out for so many people.
Yeah, because all these bars keep closing.
So it's like, why don't you just let people in? Like,
but yeah, it's
maybe charge later? I don't know.
Yeah, or I don't know. But
like, I know you're like, my bar's so chicken cool until it fucking closes down. And they'll stick to their guns till that shit closes. Like, not once you didn't go.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be impractical through the whole lifespan of your bar?
And there's really no discounts really anywhere. Except for maybe larger places that offer like the 4 p.m. happy hour, and you're like, what? Although we did get that nice birthday discount.
Oh.
Which got you wondering, you were like, can we just ask for a discount?
Yeah, I think we could just ask.
Don't even say it's a birthday, just say, hey, what are you offering?
Yeah, I mean, because there's so many bars out there, I mean, they gotta compete with each other. So it's like, hey, man, once we get in here, we gonna drink more, so just get us in here.
That's what I don't understand.
Like, just get us in here. Just get us in here! Come here, boy! If you just get them in there, they're gonna pay more.
Do any
Stop being greedy. Like,
yeah,
if you offer a free beer at your bar,
yeah,
chances are they're gonna buy 3 more.
Oh, right.
Stop being fucking stingy. God damn.
But this isn't just like bars though. So many businesses have an entry fee, and it's like, but I'm already gonna pay you a monthly fee that's really high. Every gym,
I'm about to say just the gym. They're like, okay, well, can you also pay the entry fee? I'm like,
how much? Like $5, $40. You're like, no. Why would I do that?
So do you like? But then you guys start thinking deeper. Like, are the people in Osaka just that shitty that people are like, we gotta make sure we get our money?
Right. Yeah.
So wait, where's the source? Are the companies just being shitty, or like, are they like? Was there a history of people just getting the fuck out of it? Like, okay, fuck it.
Okay.
Like, I think the same way with.
Okay, like Dine and Dash or something.
Well, like they'll get a lot of customers, and then they'll just stop paying and say, all right, fuck this membership.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're like, we gotta get some more money out of these motherfuckers.
Then
and if you pay an entry fee, you're more bound to keep paying.
I guess.
I thought the same thing with the apartments and housing. Like,
yeah.
But so I'm like, all right, so did they start off being this shitty? Like, give us this money. Or was it that the people were just like, hey, fuck it, let's just leave? And they were like, well, fuck, how do we get people to stay?
Oh, okay.
I don't know which popped first.
Huh, yeah, that is a good question.
And so if it was the people, then, alright, fuck it, then I can't blame the business that much.
Yeah.
But if it was a business first, then fuck them.
Because with the guarantor thing, where they're like, you can have some, like, if you leave your apartment early, this person has to pay for you. So it's like, so maybe it was a people thing where people were just leaving and the companies were like, well, we're out all this money now.
Right.
But there's guarantor
it can't be that, Chris. This is Japan.
Well, hold on, I have something to say about that.
So honorable.
But I actually have something about that. And then there's the guarantor companies that if you you have to pay them fees to sponsor you to move into an apartment that you're going to already be paying for. But if you leave, yes, they pay your bills. But the thing about...
And then do they, though?
Oh, shrimp's here.
Hey.
Beat you to the punch. What if it just kept beeping for an hour? God damn it. You know how... Talking about the honorable thing... This is going to sound bad up front, but I'm going to explain it.
All right, go ahead. Don't be scared.
Maybe in the past, a lot of people were very dishonorable. And I was wondering, how come at all these restaurants, all these combinis, all these stores, in America, they just give you your money, okay, go. Uh-huh. But here they're like, sin in, ni sin in, san sin in. They count it out in front of you, and then and here's your change. I used to think oh, that's really nice when you first get here. Oh, that's really nice. They're just counting out oh, look at your money. It's so polite or something. And then I was like, oh, probably a long time ago, or maybe not a long time ago, but probably at some point, businesses or companies would slight you money, and this is they put in place. You show the customer the money you're giving them for everyone to see. And that way nobody can say, hey, you didn't pay me, or hey, yes, I did, or something.
Possibly. I know in America some people count it back, but some people don't. But here, everyone counts it back if you give them 100.
Yeah. So...
Interesting.
That was my way of kind of rationalizing why do they always do that?
Right. Interesting.
Because there's no reason for that just to occur.
Yeah, it's definitely... Interesting.
And then we were talking about, I don't even think on this, I think we were just talking about how, a lot of people don't trust each other here.
Yeah, sometimes you think it's a foreign thing. It's nah, it's not a foreign thing. They don't trust each other, man.
Yeah. Because what was it? You were with your roommate, and you're you said something can we leave the door unlocked, or can we do something? He's like, no. We lock everything up.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was about.
Oh, maybe just leaving the patio open or something.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, if you if you got a Japanese person and if you say the right thing, or say let's just do this, they'll kind of look at you. They won't say nah, man, because fuck these. I don't trust these people. But they'll have a reaction that's not oh no, oh yeah, it is Japan. They'll be like, I ain't doing that shit.
So when it comes down to themselves, they're no, I'm gonna stay safe.
When it's down to you, it's oh yeah, do that dumb shit, dumbass. But with them, it's hell no. Lock my doors.
I used to leave my laptop out at cafes to go to the bathroom, and I'm it's Japan. It's the safest country in the world. And then you're maybe that's not a good idea. Especially with this information. I can't risk someone stealing that. And, I don't know.
I stole your laptop, but after listening to the information, I could report you to police.
They kick us out of the country.
Some detectives just what's going on?
We're not a safe country. Get the fuck out.
But I have a visa. Yeah, you had a visa. What? Get.
But, oh, jeez. So sloppy for no reason. Okay, so back to fees and stuff.
Okay, all right. I got a funny story with the fees. So recently I signed up for this gym, right?
Right. Okay.
So I signed up Friday. So I thought it was gonna be an easy sign up.
don't worry. I'll.
So that's. And I usually keep my guard up with these things.
Right.
I usually I'm always got my fist balled up all right, what y'all want? But I was okay, let me just go sign up for the gym.
Okay.
Real quick.
Brandon.
I was
how long have you lived here? There is no real quick.
I was let me go sign up for this gym real quick, and I'll just be back home and I'll go work out later. So I go to the
You're
place.
a fool.
And so I walk up, and first the guy at the counter, he's like, "What do you need?" But I already got my guard up. I'm like, "I want to sign up for the gym." In this gym, they've been putting flyers.
I got
and all
one
the
too.
mailbox was like, "Oh, discount! Oh, come sign up." So I'm like, "All right, cool."
Okay.
So I start talking to the guy. He starts talking to me in Japanese. I'm like, let's just skip that. I just want to sign up.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, then he's like, looks at the other guy. He's like, all right, I'll take over. And he starts speaking to me in English.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, sweet. All right, cool. Then he was blocking me so goddamn. See, I'm not gonna say Jap. This guy was the ultimate just dick. Like, why are you doing this, man? Like, he was like, okay, I have to explain the contract in Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can read a bit. But it's like, yeah, I think you can talk, but can you read and understand? I'm like, I'm like, all right, man, give me the contract. He's like, okay. Then he's like, can I explain it to you?
But they have to do that.
I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
He's taking forever. He's like, And so I got different bank accounts, right?
Yeah, we talked about that.
And so I'm like, because I don't like my money. I don't like automatic payments out of my main account.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, if I have to pay this much money, tell me, maybe I have to run to my bank and put more in there. He's like, so you're saying you don't have the money in your account right now? I'm like,
oh jeez.
So are you gonna be able to make pay? I'm like, what the fuck are you worried, nigga? Yeah. I said I'm gonna put money in my fucking account.
Right.
And he's like, And then he just paused for like 5 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then he was like, so many rules. Then he was like, because you're regular people get to pay, the Japanese get to pay on the 27th for that month. But if you're foreign, you have to pay the 27th for the previous month.
What?
I'm like, all right. So basically rent. So you pay your rent you pay December's fare in November. That kind of deal.
For us.
Yeah, apparently only for us.
But for them, it's
they're like,
the first of the month?
They pay in the month.
Holy shit.
So I was like, let's say December's fare.
Yeah.
You pay at the end of November, which is kind of like how rent works, right?
That makes sense, though.
That makes sense. Which I wasn't even worried about it, but then when he said, but Japanese people, they don't have to pay like that. I'm like, you should just kept that shit quiet, man.
I know.
And then I was like, oh shit, why? And he's like, but he wasn't being stupid Japanese. This motherfucker was looking at me stone cold in the eyes, just like, and I was like, does this motherfucker like want to fight me? And I was just like, I'm serious, man. He was like, do you dance? I don't know, maybe he was like really trying to concentrate on the English, but it didn't feel like that.
Oh, sure.
He was like, I'm like, does this motherfucker want to go?
Yeah.
And so then I was like, all right. Let me.
It's got a guard dog out there.
wait. And then like, there was like moments where he was like, okay. And so like, look, I'm not on that, all Japan are assholes or racist shit or they hate Gaijin. But this motherfucker did. And I got the sensation where he was like, if I just keep being a problem, he'll leave.
Yeah.
I was like, this motherfucker wants me to leave.
But that's where I'm going with this. Like, why didn't you? Is it just because he was being a dick?
Well, first, I actually like the gym and it's in the area of my house.
Yeah.
And because if I go farther out, I probably will not go.
Right. Oh, okay.
And also, yes, I was actually after talking to him, I was like, I didn't even give a shit about working. I just wanted to be spiteful. I'm gonna sign up for this fucking gym, and you're gonna see me come in and sweat all over your equipment. So alright, so let me go back. So I'm still trying to figure shit out with this guy. So I call. I was like, fuck. So I start messaging the Japanese guys I know. And I'm like, shit, let me message Yuki.
Yeah.
It's like, Yuki, I need your help. He's like, all right, call me in 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I call Yuki, get him on the phone. And I'm like, explain to him. And he starts explaining to Yuki on the phone. And Yuki's like, what the fuck is this guy saying? And so Yuki, he's like, oh, actually, I'm working in Osaka today.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, straight. I was like, can you come here and help me? He's like, all right, because this is like around 2:00.
Okay.
So all right, let's meet up around 7, and I'll come take care. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get my motherfucking nigga, because in Japan you're going to need a Japanese handler. It's
a shame, but it's true.
You're going to need the word handler,
and they're so hard to come by.
So I go back home and I had a schedule for the other shit I wanted to do because I thought I was just going to be in there for 40 minutes tops.
You should. When I signed up for the gym in America, it took, I think, 10 minutes. They had me write my name, my address, my phone number, and my credit card so they could take it out every month. So,
and I actually started doing that crazy laugh, like, man, I just want to work out.
Right? Oh yeah.
I just want to lift weights. Why are you guys doing this? Yeah. I actually did I was like, I just want to work out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to. What the fuck is?
Yeah, that happens though.
So that pissed me off because all I could think about was revenge. Revenge.
But it's so weird where it's like, my revenge can only be me paying you a monthly fee. And it's
if I go away, that's not revenge.
Right, yeah.
The only way I win is if I sign up. That's goofy. Like, the only way I can win is if I give you my money.
Yeah, I know. It's such a fucked up thing.
It's like, wait a minute. Was this all reverse psychology?
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Like, he's going to make sure he pay. All right, so then I meet back up with the roommate.
Okay.
And we go there. The motherfucker's not there.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, fuck. Because I'm like, because look, I got things with Yuki, but he's on paper, Japanese guy, works for a company, older. He's a good motherfucker to take care of that kind of shit.
Yeah. So
I'm like, yeah, I have my walk on.
You got your cane and your hat.
Yeah. So I look in and it's like, he ain't here. And then it's just some sweet Japanese girl. I'm like, fuck. So she's like, oh, okay, you want to sign up? I'm like,
the thing is, I can picture that too.
So then we go through the process.
Okay.
So this gym is a little, with the confusing part, not confusing, but there is a bullshit part. I understand where he was like, I gotta explain this to you.
Yeah.
So, apparently for this gym, instead of, you don't pay them, apparently they decided that they don't want to go through the hassle of getting money from their customers. So, if you sign up for this, you sign up for the gym, but you're also signing up for a different, credit company.
Okay.
Almost like a guarantor.
Yeah.
So basically like a house guarantor.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, you sign, but we're going to send all your information to them. So if you don't pay,
okay,
we get the money from them.
Okay.
And I'm like...
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, y'all, you just handle your shit.
That's always confused me too. Where I'm like, this is what I've been saying for 5 years now. Do you not want my money? And I always think, I've never had problems buying things in America. They want your money, but here it seems like they don't want it.
I'm like, you guys put these flyers in everyone's mailbox.
Yeah.
So you're looking for some business.
You paid someone to put those flyers in the mailbox. And you can't even recoup your costs. You won't sign people up.
And so that's what he was trying to explain.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, it's not like a credit card where you have to where they check your shit. It's just like, oh, well, you go through us.
You pay them, they pay us. Okay.
But even in the long run, you don't even have to tell me that. Just say you don't even have to. It's because it's still
you're still paying X amount of money this day.
And so, like, okay, so we talk about that. They explain the other dumb bullshit rules. Typical gym rules. Ain't nothing special. I fill out the paperwork. Hey, my name, where I live. Nothing. Could have done this easily by myself. Like,
Right, yeah.
and so then I pay for I gotta pay the month. The deal is the next month's free, so that was cool. But the month and the sign up fee, which was $50.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I'll look in the gyms, in the windows. No one's in there.
Because they're probably like, fuck this bullshit.
Like,
these guys are pissing me off.
You'll see one guy running on a treadmill, and it's like, okay, you just didn't want to run outside, and you had enough money. But it's like, how are these places still in business?
And so then got the card. The rest went pretty smooth after that, but
yeah,
that first guy was so. I'm like you know when when that kind of person that just boils your skin. You're just like,
yeah.
You can't even concentrate. You're just like, I gotta get this motherfucker back. And
Yeah.
even when I went today, I was like, he better be in there. Wasn't in there. I'm like, where is he? He will scan my card and give me my complimentary towel.
Dare desu ka? You know who I'm talking about.
But he was such a fucking asshole.
That's happened to me too, where I'm like,
oh, one more time, one
Okay.
last thing. And it's those kind of guys where you think like, maybe when the younger generation Japan would change. It's like, no, he's gonna that's the kind of guy that will be put in Congress and power.
Right.
So we're fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do with this, where it's like, there have been times where I just said, well, fuck it. I'm not gonna give you money.
That's the thing, that you lose if you do that.
Do you?
Yes, unfortunately. Because then you give them the pleasure, like, all right, I didn't want to deal with that motherfucker anyway. You have to take the, like, I know you don't want to deal with me so bad that my victory is that you have to deal with me.
Yeah, I mean, it happens sometimes, but other times I'm like, or when there's too much paperwork or something, I'm just like, I don't know, like, I'm just buying a stapler.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fill out all this paperwork.
Right.
But that happened to me with the fucking cell phones. When I got my first phone in Kawagoe, they had me fucking fill out stacks of paperwork, and then they're like, "Oh, you can't."
Oh, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
They had me fill out all this paperwork, and it took them a long time to even figure out how to sell me a phone. I was like, "I'm in here to buy a phone, you fucking idiots!" And I fucking talked to them for like an hour, and filled all this shit out, and they're like,
I think they do that wait thing on purpose to tire you out. Also,
"Why? I'm a customer."
So when they reject you, you're too tired to go. Like, you're just like,
Why would you reject someone who wants to give you money, though?
shit, mother. So this happened to me in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I went to Shibuya. Maybe that was a wrong move anyway.
Okay.
So I went to the soft bank in Shibuya. I'm like, okay, I just want to get like a phone, or do I want a SIM card for my phone, or
Something.
or a Wi-Fi, something like that. So
Yeah.
I go in there, and the pros. I was in there for like 2 hours of them just going, fill this out. Your carrier is this. And then like at the end they're like, nah.
Oh shit! They denied you?
Yeah, they're like, they gave me for some bullshit reason.
Yeah.
And I was so tired and exhausted. I was just like, okay. But then I got like a stupid I was like, I need something. They're like, how about this prepaid phone? I think I wanted a pocket Wi-Fi. Maybe.
Okay, but they wouldn't sell it to you.
Yeah, and so I ended up selling for a prepaid phone, but they tired me out so much where you're just like, like, I was like, should I just leave? Like, the fuck? Like, you guys are killing me.
One time when I found out Docomo, I think they also have pocket Wi-Fi, and I was like, I can get rid of this one and maybe get a Docomo one for cheaper, because I already have a phone with them. And I went in there and I'm like, yeah, do you guys have pocket Wi-Fi? And the lady was like, oh. I'm like, yeah, it's a yes or no question. And then she goes and talks to the manager, and he's like, can you take a number and stay here for about 2 hours?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm leaving. And he's like, leaving and coming back in 2 hours? I'm like, no, I'm not coming back at all. And he's like, oh, okay.
And here's the also what sucks. You can't get mad. Like, I mean, like, not mad, but you can't, like sometimes at a business, you go, I'm tired of this shit. They're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
If you go, shit, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like,
I don't know.
You don't even respect my anger?
What am I doing?
They don't respect your anger. So you can't even use your anger like, hey, motherfucker.
Yeah.
If you do that at a regular time, be like, oh, okay, all right, sir, okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Call the manager. They go, hey, motherfucker. They'd be like, are they all like that? Like, fuck! What?
But yeah,
what?
I was so mad. I was like, it's a simple yes or no question, though. Do you have pocket Wi-Fi? And they're like, but oh wait, what were we talking about? Anger?
The walking out's not the best thing, or
damn it, I had something.
Do you want my money, or
I don't even remember.
if you don't get it, you lose.
I don't know.
They make you wait a long time.
I got so angry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Straight up the memories.
Oh, here it is. This pisses me off to no end.
Okay.
Where it's like, Japan prides themselves in having excellent customer service. Usually when you're thinking of like, it's not even a stereotype, but just things about Japan, it's things we kind of fill in the gaps. But this is one thing where Japan is like, we treat the customer like gods. No other country does this. We're the fucking best. And then it's like, how come everyone treats me like shit?
Yeah, like wait a minute.
Like,
who's getting this treatment?
Like, what god in any religion are the followers constantly scamming and tricking and lying to? I'm like, what? But here's another problem I have. This is with Keigo. Speaking Keigo, if you don't know, it's just the same words but polite. So like, instead of saying I'm going, you're like, I'm graciously going.
Yeah.
Speaking Keigo to a customer does not solve a problem. And I know, and in some instances I'm like, you know what, this is pretty nice for the staff, because they can just go, moshiwake arimasen, and that ends the problem. So I go, okay, whatever, it works for you in this one instance. But that's another thing where I'm like, as a customer, why should I keep paying you to never solve a problem I have? But, the phone thing. So when I was getting my original phone, I was there for like an hour. Just trying to buy a phone. And filled out all this paperwork, and then they go, actually, you can't get a phone with us. And I'm like, why? Because the contract's for 1 year, but your visa's already 2 months.
What?
Your visa
I thought you had
has already been 2 months, so you could only pay for 10 months of a contract.
Well, you know they researched that one hard too. They were like, well, how can we?
And I'm like, that's 10 months of free money. You don't want that? Plus, you have to buy the phone anyways.
It's so, like, how many customers do you guys have? You mean to tell me you have just great customers?
Oh,
no
right.
asshole that's like, I'm not paying my bill.
Right.
No teenager that just fucks it up. No, come on, man. Don't signal me out like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know why you, like, even if my contract doesn't end, like, even if I don't renew for another year or something, that's 10 months.
It's like
that you're not gonna get now.
It's like the McDonald's workers. Like, is this sauce coming? Is this sauce affecting you?
Oh, where they're stingy with the sauce.
Like this is like you like if you go, you talk to people like, if you sign me up, do you get in trouble? Like, did you sign that form up? who signed this foreigner up? Like, if it is, let me know. So maybe I can go. Okay.
Yeah.
But hold on, stay on your point. That's what also pissed me off about the guy at the gym.
Yeah.
Because the system is a little goofy, right?
Yeah.
So instead, why didn't he go, "Hey man, this system's a little goofy. Let me it's retarded." No, he went like, "This is the system." Like,
yeah.
Why are you? Oh, so why are you taking this position?
Yeah.
Be the guy that goes, look, man, I know it's fun. Because then I'm on your side. I'm like,
Right.
I got you, man. Yeah, I know how Japan is. But he's like, this is a dumb system, and I'm gonna act like I'm in control of it, and just stare at you with unblinking eyes, like, what the fuck, motherfucker?
But is that
You're just a fucking cashier?
But is that way of him getting revenge on his job that he hates, where he's like, they're paying me to read the rules to you, so I'm gonna read them. But it's like, what are you getting out of that?
Or like just some miserable guy with his, and he's just like, well, I finally get to, because he's probably at the bottom of the totem pole in his whole goddamn life, so he's probably like,
shit.
I get to step on someone?
But I love that it's you come in, hey, how's it going? I'd like to sign up for your gym. Yes. Gonna ruin this guy's night. But the thing with the cell phone, they told me after an hour of filling out paperwork, they told me you can't get it because your visa's gonna expire in 10 months. And then I was like, I just stared at them. I'm like, what happens next? Do I go? Do you figure out a plan for me to pay? They didn't say anything. I'm like, okay.
Hey, is that a contract?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sucker.
For a year or something?
I don't know.
Like you
I got a story behind this one too. Don't worry.
I got it. My bad. I'm just trying to figure it.
I've been bottling up all this rage for 5 years. So they didn't say anything after that. So I'm like, do I leave? Like, I think I asked them, like, do I just leave now? And they're like, no, you can get a phone. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, the visa's gonna expire, but your health insurance lasts forever. And I'm like, well, why did you bother making me feel bad, you fucking prick?
What?
Because I guess the Japanese health insurance card is used as a ID or something. And it's like, why did you bother telling me the other information?
You're a piece of shit. Your visa will expire, but hey, you got this. It's not even a problem though, because we can just use this.
Yeah. So then I use that, and I think I even asked them, like, is this gonna work? And they're like, I don't know. That's another thing. Workers here don't know anything about the product they're selling you.
It's like, what's your job then? You don't know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might work, it might not.
But that always makes me wonder, are we the only ones that ask them questions? Do Japanese customers just go, oh, okay, $50 entrance fee. Sure, I'll pay it. And then, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. Okay, sure, I'll sign up for it. Like,
some people, like, I remember I was at a bar, and I was just, like, talking to some random Japanese guy. I'm like, what's your job? And he's like, maybe, like, his answer was, like, so generic that you don't know what the fuck his job is. So I was like, so what do you do?
Yeah.
Where's your office? He's like, so many questions. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
that's a normal.
He was actually like, wow, a lot of questions. I'm like, because I'm actually showing interest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I'm actually showing interest in you, man. Like, give me.
Yeah.
We'll have a bullshit conversation. Like, where you from? Osaka. No, like, well, all right, where? It's a big fucking
right.
It's a big fucking place.
Yeah, are you from Suita, Ibaraki, Mino? Like, where are you from? You know about Mino. Yeah. All right, back to this phone. The second phone. Huh. The other one broke because I dropped it so many times.
Is that one? The porn one? Is that the jet?
The what one? The Bible study one? I downloaded a Bible, Mom. I just use it to read. But I got the Quran over there in the book form. So I dropped it so many times and it just don't broke.
So
So I was like, you know what? I gotta get a new phone. So I went there and I'm like, yeah, this one's broken. I want a new one. And they're like, can we see your Visa? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I give them the Zydu card. They come back and they go, this is about to expire in 4 months. I'm like,
this is in Osaka, right?
yeah, this was, when was this? February, maybe? January? And so they're like, we can't sell you this phone because you're about to expire. Your visa's about to expire. And I'm like, don't worry. Got the health insurance card here.
Oh.
And they go, actually, we don't take those anymore. I'm like, oh, shit. Shit. Did too many stores sell phones to foreigners who were paying the bill? And the government was like, we don't want, no. Cut this out. So I'm like, well, when I bought this phone, I was holding up my own old one. I was like, when I bought this phone, they told me I could just use the health insurance card. And I'm like, look, I'm getting the paperwork. I'm going to get my visa renewed, like, I think next week or something. And they're like, we can't do it. I'm like, okay, well, can you just ask if I can use the health insurance card? The manager came back and he's like, listen, we don't take these anymore. I'm like, was this a government thing? And he's like, yeah. Like, they made it illegal for us to use health insurance cards.
Oh, shit.
So it's like,
well, why was this like a special? Why was this such an important policy to pass? Like,
right, yeah.
In our next business, we gotta stop these goddamn health insurance cards.
Yeah, it's confusing. Whew.
What about the economy? What about these iPhones ain't cheap? These iPhones ain't fucking cheap. Sir, ballistic reports, and we gotta worry about North Korea. All right. Cancel the health insurance cards.
That's also something kind of funny about Japan, where they pick the wrong arguments to make. I remember at the beginning of the coronavirus thing, Abe came out. This made the news. This made the English news. Abe came out and he's like, in foreign countries, they gotta say our names last name first. I'm like, huh? And he's like,
there's a state of emergency.
And he's like, in China, you say their names correctly. What about us? I'm like, listen.
Man, no one can say no Chinese name. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm like, listen. China's lucky we even call them John and Henry. And, like, their names, nobody knows how to pronounce those. But I'm like, why are you making this fight? Like, why would you want, like, what's your name? Nakamoto? Your name's Nakamoto? Yes. How about him? Nakamoto? Oh, you have the same first name? No. So stupid.
Alright, so go back. So how did you get the phone that day, or you had to come back?
No, I couldn't get the phone that day. I had to come back in a month.
And then after that month, it was smooth sailing? Or was it the same people?
I don't know. They all look the same to me.
Did you show the card like...
No, I did.
3 years, motherfucker.
No, I actually did. I pulled out. I'm like, is this okay with you? Fucking assholes.
It wasn't the same people?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta get...
I take pictures of you. I remember you.
You gotta get more petty, man. You gotta get more petty. I'm petty. I'm like...
But that's where I'm like...
I'm gonna be petty.
I'm like, okay, I was kind of forced to come back. I can't just have a broken phone. Like,
right.
But you're missing a month's worth of my money. Why wouldn't you... I don't know. Whew, this episode is much longer than I anticipated.
Where are we at?
55 minutes.
Yeah.
And took a lot of twists and turns that I wasn't prepared for.
Well, because I had that story, but I didn't know how I was going to put it into the topic. But
it worked, though.
It slid in there. And then we just took off like the 4th of July.
I wanted to end with talking about Eikaiwas.
What do you want to say? I don't. Is this now or should we say this for later? Okay, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Okay. Can we talk about the scam of Eikaiwas?
Okay.
This is for... We're usually talking about foreigners and how we have to deal with life, but this is for Japanese people.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they'd be listening to this. Unless they go to the Eikaiwa and they really get great English. I don't... When I think about my students, I'm like, I don't know why 99% of you are even here.
Yeah. Go. Can you elaborate a little bit more, please?
There are a few... I was talking to a kid yesterday, 14 years old. His English is just as good as mine. He's fun to talk to. I actually enjoy that class. And I can say fuck with him. And he gets a little giggle out of that. But I'm like, okay, you're here because you like... Well, there are a lot of students that like English better than Japanese. They'll tell you up front, like, you don't have to, like, figure it out. So him...
all right, so this is the sector where the English is so good that it's like, I just want to keep... You don't even gotta really do anything, just talk to me so I'm keeping my skills sharp.
Yeah. Well, he's going there because his mom is forcing him to take Aiken the tests. But he just enjoys talking with me.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like him. There's another boy that I can always joke around with. And then there's a few other kids where you're like, okay, you're getting something. You're getting something out of this.
Right.
But 99%, I'm like, why are you here? And I don't know if it's just my area, but it seems like you have similar stories to me. Because I was thinking my area is kind of a rich part of Osaka. So I'm like, I guess the parents just want to be like, yeah, our son's taking English lessons, whatever. But, or they want them to take tests to get into these fucking high schools.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The high schools where you have to take tests to get into, those kids aren't any smarter than any other kids. So it's like, why does Japan care so much about tests? But that's another fucking weird thing.
Well, stay on the Aikawa topic, so keep going.
Oh, sure.
So you're saying
so the parents, I'm like, there's an entry fee, which is quite steep.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just know it's a lot.
Yeah. And then there's the monthly fee. Some people have 2, 3, 4 kids going to these schools.
Is there a lock-in thing? Like once you get in, it's like it's kind of hard to get out, so you might as well just keep paying.
No, you just say we're out next month.
Is that really okay?
As long as your next month's payment haven't been gone through, you're fine.
Okay.
And but I'm like, so the entry fee's real high, and I'm like, these kids aren't really getting anything out of this because they don't want to be there. So why is this system in place? Like, I don't know who's getting anything out of it.
Nah, that's all money.
Well, I know what the Eikaiwas are getting out of it, but I don't know how they keep convincing people to join.
I get you. I thought about this. I think it's because what they say is we're people are getting their laziness taken advantage of. So let me explain. They wanna study English.
Who, adults or kids? People.
Okay. Let's just say, all right, I want to learn this language.
Okay.
To learn a language, you need to spend a lot of fucking time.
Yeah.
And you need to push yourself and motivate it.
Mm-hmm.
And the real truth about language is you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which means you have to do that shit yourself.
But Japanese, that's against, like, Japanese style.
Okay, hold on, wait. So people say, and this is all around the world. People learning a language, like learning math and science, but it's not the same shit. And so
Oh yeah.
so I say,
Okay.
oh, okay, if I go to this Aikawa, it will push me more to learn once a week for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, once a week for 40 minutes with some
With some guy who doesn't want to be there.
some guy that doesn't want to be there, can't speak a different language, not 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
and doesn't even know the fundamentals of his own language.
Yeah.
But people think that's better, and it's just a shit show.
Yeah. But what was the but the thing about the Japan, the society kind of expects. God, this is going to take so much explaining. Expects the teacher to teach, and the people just learn through osmosis, I guess. But it's like that's not how that works. And God, this is one of those things where it's like you almost have to be an English teacher to comprehend what we're saying. Okay, let's just stick to the business part of it. Like, there's... Okay, so we talked about the fees. So it's like, I don't know why, for something you don't want to learn. Because, like, when you're going to the gym, you want to work out.
Right. Okay.
But for someone who's going to learn English, they don't necessarily even want to learn it. So why are you paying these fees? And then you look at the prices they charge per month, and you're like, okay, why would we pay $200 to go to a lesson once a week and then not talk? So you're like, okay, I don't know why you're paying for that either. And then at ours, they always have all these events. And the goals of the events is the gaijin teachers need to make us more money. And it's like, shouldn't that be a little more on the Japanese side? Like, no, you need to dance and jump around. And you have to, I won't say force, but that's the easiest way to explain it. Basically force children to come to these events so their parents will give the company more money. You're like, well, what event can we do? And then you're like, well, we don't know, just make us money. And then when you look at how much they pay for the events and what they're getting out of it, it's like, his parents must really want one afternoon off. Like, you're paying $60 to
have you dealt with some of these fucking kids?
Yeah. But and then the thing about, like, going to an English school and then not learning anything because you don't practice. I've been comparing it to, like, going to a guitar lesson and then playing for 40 minutes with the teacher, and then going home and just never practicing the songs, don't practice any of the scales, you don't bother learning anything, and then showing up and being like, why doesn't my son know how to play these songs?
yeah, when you put it that way, yeah, that's a good example. That's a good analogy to compare it to. Yeah, it's like you have to, and that goes back, you have to you have to do some on your own.
Right, yeah.
Unless you're going to pay to come 5 days out the week.
Yeah.
If you're paying 5 days out the week, then
yeah, okay.
Then all right, fuck, let's do it. But
yeah, because I remember when I was learning guitar, the weeks I didn't practice, I felt like I'm really letting the teacher down because I'm wasting his time.
Right.
And he would even look at me like, "Did you not practice the songs?" I'd have to, But then that's on you because you're paying for this experience. So I don't know why so many students don't take advantage of them paying for this. It's just really bizarre to me. And I can't...
But I think it's just the language learning and as a whole.
Yeah. But I can't think of any other business that's comparable to Juku's or Eikaiwa's. Like, I was talking to my friend, and I'm like, I don't know what they're getting out of this. It's just so bizarre.
But also, I work with adults, so sometimes I just get crazy people that just want to talk.
Oh, really?
Like, I had one old guy.
Oh, I think you told me about
He's
him.
retired. So I had like a 3 p.m. class with him. Now, maybe like a 12 p.m.
Okay.
And then I had like an empty slot in my schedule. I'm like, ooh, I get to chill. They're like, oh, someone filled up that slot. I'm like, shit. So
Yeah.
then I look. It's the same motherfucking old guy. I'm like, what are you doing back? He's like, well, I'm retired. This English is just a hobby. I'm like, oh, so what? Why you get out of here? It's Saturday. So English is just my hobby now. I'm like, oh my goodness. And he kind of annoyed because he tries to force me on that weird Japanese rhetoric, but I don't buy into that shit. It's like, well, kanjis. Dude, the 4,000 kanjis each have their own meaning. I'm like, all right, man. What the fuck are you doing back here? Is the question. Twice on a Saturday.
But
you have nothing else to spend your retirement on.
But that's the thing. That it's just a different. It's a system of its own, where it's like going back to guitar. If you ever before your lesson or afterwards, you might be out in the lobby and you can pick a guitar off the wall and just kind of play around with it, or try out new amps, or maybe talk to the owner, like, what do you think about this, blah blah blah. But here it's just like, if you're paying to go to a lesson and then leaving and coming back to go to a lesson, like, why not just talk on your own to people?
Or watch movies or TV or something.
That's always what I suggest.
That's the hard thing, though, because this is not even this is a people thing.
Yeah.
You gotta take responsibility for yourself.
Right.
And that's... No one wants to do that.
Like, sometimes I'll try and talk to students after the class where I'm like, okay, well, we can just be real people now, instead of me teaching you all these weird things you're never going to use. Like, okay, here's a little bonus, like, hey, how's it going, blah, 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 we can talk. It's like, they don't want to talk at all. Sometimes. Anywho, this podcast is kind of unraveling.
And sometimes with adult ACON, sometimes it gets weird because, like, the student is either... Their level is too high that it's like, guys, you're wasting your money here. This book is not going to help you.
Yeah.
Or their level is so low, it's like, you're kind of wasting your money here. You need like a professional Japanese person that knows English to explain these concepts to you.
Oh, right. But
I do not have the ability. I just speak English.
Yeah.
I do not know how English works to explain this to you.
Right.
You need a Japanese English person to say that can explain these concepts to you. But it's an old person like, hey, dude, you're so good, dude, you're wasting your fucking money.
Yeah. But sometimes they're like, no, we are not going to explain it. It's like, we just give them a little hint or something in Japanese, like, no. They will learn from just hearing words.
Because that works.
But here's another scam of the Eikaiwas. We talked about a little bit. They don't really want you to get better at English sometimes.
No, that's true, yeah.
That's another thing where I'm like, what other business where you're like, oh, if you're like, I've actually been practicing the guitar, but I don't seem to be getting any better, you're just going to leave. But here they're like, no, just keep paying. Just you'll learn it eventually.
And the thing is, they all know that this system doesn't work.
Yeah, the people paying and the people providing the lessons.
I mean, like, even the company that knows, like, you're not going to learn.
That's what I mean.
Shit. You ain't going to learn with this bullshit.
For instance, I always try and push the older students to go up to the teen classes, because I'm like, listen, we can have real conversations in there. We don't have to do this book. Like, we can just talk like normal people. And it's always like, no, just keep them in the more money lessons, and then they'll go up until they can't stay in them anymore.
It's like language is not a level. You either know how to say it or you don't. It's just not, you're not ready for these words. It's like, you either know the word or it's not like
yeah.
You either know the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious or you don't.
You came so close to saying it.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You try it.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
No, you say it slower. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. All right, stop.
Okay, anywho.
All right, yo, I'm out. I gotta take a piss like a motherfucker.
Damn, there was so much more I wanted to cover.
Oh shit! You gonna keep talking? I'm gonna take a piss.
So, anyways, there was a well.
Great, keep talking.
I gotta pee too. Bye.